Thank you, friends. Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, I hope you all had fantastic Seders. This year, I had the distinct pleasure of conducting 3 completely different Seders, and each had marvelous guests, great food, wonderful camaraderie, and joy. Now, the first had about 25 people, and the second and third one, I actually only expected about 5 people tops. I had 45, and everyone had a fantastic time. Now, as is usual, each of them was completely different. And one of the reasons for that is I never use a book. Va Haggadah lo diber b'yom hahu, and you shall tell your son. It's not a story to be read. It is a story to be told. And during the evening, we ate from the table of God. We had special food that tells the story of freedom and points to a moment in time that is forever etched in the collective memory of man. Now, it's a time that we welcome others, everybody you know, to come and celebrate our coming together like we do weekly as a like-minded group in a showing of faith, of love, as a community, a chavura, a fellowship, when we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and come share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Ahi Gam Yah. Hine Matov. Shevet Ahi Gam Yah. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Together. Because it's as a community, my friends, that we all get together and we spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world. And as we generate a spiritual connection that unites each of us together as a whole, we send healing and renewal energy out to the world. So let's send some special prayers for Joseph, for Johnny, for Marlu and Virginia, for Deborah, for Veronica, for Ben and Lindsay, for Chris, and of course for the bee who tried so hard, and for everyone you know in need of renewal. Let's send love, renewal, healing to them, and make sure that you include yourself, because you need renewal too. It is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed. And, let me thank you, because we are all devoting a little of our time, and for you, it's your sacred time, in your sacred space, and you're devoting it to me, and I'm very appreciative of it, because that is what your time is. It's you spending sacred time honoring your own beliefs. And if you take a full day for it, that's great. But if not, just the little bits that you take here and there is part of your intention, your kavanah, that you send out to the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. And Misha Baruch, may he who blessed, because, healing is a blessing. Now, this was an unusual period this week. With Passover beginning on Friday, we did not read the next Torah Parsha last week, and we do not again this week, because we are in what is known as the Chol HaMoed, the intermediate days of the holiday. And there are 2 holidays that have intermediate days, this one and Sukkot. Now, these are the times to think about what the holiday actually represents. And in this case, it's your chance to be free of the fear, the Pharaoh that holds you in Egypt, in Mitzrayim, in constraint. You've just celebrated the most important holy day in the Bible, that day to celebrate freedom. It's not a physical thing. you are physically free. It's your mental freedom, your freedom to choose. And that, my friends, impacts you emotionally, socially, physically, psychologically, in all ways. So choose and embrace freedom. But really not by reading a story. Now, I think one of the most odd things that occurs at this time of the year is we now begin to count the Omer. And it does not matter what it is. For those who want to know, it was a measure of grain. And there's actually apps you can buy now that help you count the Omer. And it's a countdown that celebrates the Great Epiphany, the revelation to 600,000 people, a celebration of the great rules of life, the Ten Commandments. And one time in our history, when we were still putting the liturgy together, those rules, the Ten Commandments, were recited daily, along with the Testament to monotheism, the cornerstone prayer of Judaism, the Shema. Listen, O Israel, the Lord is God. There is but one. Friends, there is only one God. The same God for all. And if you go back to it, just read that, the Ten Commandments every day, simple rules for life, and you will be freer than you can imagine, and you will radically alter the trajectory of your life. Now, God created the world and all the people the same, to be the same, to be one, to be different parts of a greater whole. As it was in the beginning, so we hope that it will be in the end. It just seems to be taking us quite a while to get there. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right, as it was in the beginning. One love, so shall it be in the end. One heart. Give thanks and praise the Lord. I will feel all right. Let's get together and feel all right. We do praise God, and we do have faith and hope in faith. And moreover, there is a faith component to everybody's life, including atheists' lives. See, even atheists believe good and evil really exist, and that life may have a purpose beyond one he or she has made up, or that free will exists, or for that matter, that science alone may not explain how the universe came about, or how life arose from non-life, or how intelligent, and I use that term loosely, arose from non-intelligence. They strive for reason in favor of faith, but do not rule it out. And freedom is the freedom to believe what you choose and the freedom to be you. Now, in addition to this being the time of freedom, it's a special time of the holiday because, as I said, the last day of Passover is also one of the times of the year to do Yizkor, the public mourning. Now, the word Yizkor means to remember, and it refers to special prayers said on behalf of family members and others who have passed. It's an opportunity for living relatives to have an elevating spiritual impact on the soul of a departed loved one. For the person saying Yizkor, it can be a very important reflective moment. It originally was said only once a year at Yom Kippur, but now it's said 4 times, Yom Kippur and the 3 gathering festivals of Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. Now, Yizkor can be recited on behalf of any relatives, though people are most often, found saying it on behalf of those for whom Kaddish is said, and that would be parents, children, siblings, and spouse. Although the Yizkor service is brief, you will often see all the congregants, other than those who will be saying Yizkor, leave the synagogue while it's said. It's not a requirement. You can still participate, even if it is just to honor those you want to say a remembrance for. Now, it's also not necessary to be done in a synagogue as part of a service. Anyone can at any time say Yizkor privately at home. The honoring and remembering of anybody sends out energy to the universe and is actually something we often do. It is a remembrance. We remember them. The rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. The blowing of the wind, the chill of the winter, we remember them. The opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. The blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. The rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. The beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us, as we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joy, we crave to share, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. When we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Now we are each different, and we each observe in our own ways. And a non-communal, quiet, personal way is as good as any. We are broken-hearted and we mourn for those that we love. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer. Let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance. They will see. There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Now I tell those who ask that the effort to say Yizkor is a beautiful statement of a request for the departed. Now for people who are not familiar with the prayer service and who may not read Hebrew, there's always people ready and willing to help one learn how to say Yizkor. It's a time to honor the members of your family, of your community, those you knew, those you heard about, those whose paths you never crossed, and the martyrs and freedom fighters of history. To honor and to elevate the spirits of them all, because that's what you're doing. When you do this Yizkor prayer, you are elevating the souls and spirits of these people. Now, Judaism does not spend a lot of time talking about the afterlife. Most people get most of their knowledge of it from movies. It's been an important part of the study of Judaism, but not disseminated well. It still is primarily in the realm of rabbinic studies, of the mystical parts of the religion, and exploded knowledge-wise in the Middle Ages. We come into this world composed of three parts, my friends: the body, the personality, and the soul, each with a different time frame of existence. Now, the essence of every human life is the soul. After death, the soul lives on. Yizkor is about life, death, and eternity, about the core mission that we all share to bring light, life, kindness, and goodness into this world, about the unequaled bond and timeless connection between you and someone you loved and still do. Yizkor is far more than a ritual or prayer. It is a gift from your soul in this world to the soul of your loved one in the next. Each of us is a blend of physical and spiritual, body and soul. The Hebrew word for soul is neshama, and it comes from the word meaning breath. When God created the first human being, he breathed the soul into the physical body. This breath of God is the source and essence of the soul, and there is a circular relationship between us and God, as God's out-breath is our in-breath, and our out-breath is God's in-breath. We seek to connect, and the prayers, the rituals, the observances, and the liturgy is designed to foster that connection. Judaism does not view the soul in the realm of the spiritual as the exclusive domain in which to live life. The Torah teaches us that people are created in the image of God. And this means that just like God breathes spiritual life into an inanimate physical body, in a sense we can do a similar thing. We do not run away from the body, we refine it. Whether it is good food, sexuality, or relaxing, Judaism views life as an ongoing challenge to elevate the body and infuse the physical with the spiritual. The body and soul must work together. Now, early rabbis saw the body like a horse and the soul like a rider. As with anything else, the question arises, who is leading who and in what direction? You see, friends, Judaism sees life as a shared body-soul experience. The question is, which of the two is the most influential in shaping our lives? Will one's life be primarily defined by the body, while the soul is relegated to brief cameo appearances? Or will the soul be the star of the show, with the body playing a wonderful supporting role? But it was long ago when it was far away. God, it seems so very far. And life is just a highway, and then the soul is just a car. Meatloaf. Now the soul that has been breathed into every one of us is a priceless gem that becomes even more refined, more sparkling, when we choose to live in a soul-directed life, and that's a choice. If, on the other hand, one lives more of a body-centered life, the soul atrophies, so to speak, and loses much of its shine. We all know people who can fit into one or the other category. Exercise them both. That is true health and freedom. You've just entered the period where you're working on freeing yourself. Free the soul. Now, the body's a vessel which decays and dies. The soul lives on. Now, when the soul departs the body, it enters a spiritual world known as Olam Haba, the world to come, where the deep pleasure of pure spirituality is infinitely more manifest than it is in the physical world. As the soul transitions into the spiritual world, it does so with both its beautiful, well-developed features and the unsightly, atrophied features it acquired in the physical world. In the world to come, the soul steps in front of the mirror of self, where it is a deep realization of everything good and meaningful it achieved in the physical world. The result is a profound experience of closeness to God. Physical and spiritual, good and evil, deep and superficial, productive and destructive, actions that have their place in this world. In our lives, we can always grow, change, improve, and live a more soul-focused life. That is what Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are all about. After death, the time for achieving is past. What is done. Nonetheless, there remains a powerful way that the soul can gain new levels of elevation even after death. The living have the ability to enhance the condition of a departed soul in the afterlife. This is where Yizkor comes in. Now, the idea of remembrance is founded on two fundamental Jewish beliefs: that the prayers and actions of people in this world can have an elevating spiritual effect on the souls of the departed, and that a primary mission in every person's life is to make the world a kinder, better, more beautiful place. This pursuit of goodness and kindness is known as Olam Chesed Yebaneh, to build a world of kindness. Now, the brief Yizkor service is a beautiful expression of these ideas. When you make an effort to help someone else and do so in honor of a departed relative, then that person becomes the motivating cause behind your act of kindness. The result is threefold. You become better, the more giving person. The departed soul of your relative is elevated, and the recipient benefits from your kindness and generosity. So, friends, please join me now as we do a brief remembrance for all those whom we care about. And, friends, I will pause to allow you to utter the names of those you wish to remember. I'm doing this for Cindy's Bob. We all miss him. His soul will live on. May God remember the soul of, put in the name of whoever you want, who has gone on to her or his world, because without making a vow, I will give to charity on his or her behalf. As a reward for this, and in their merit, may his or her soul be bound in the bond of life, together with the souls of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, and together with the other righteous men and women in the Garden of Eden. And let us say, Amen. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace. Work on manifesting your new year, your new you, with all your newfound freedom, the freedom to be you. Now, honor and remember the people in your life and honor the journey you were on. Honor yourself. And friends, keep your eyes open to what you may not be seeing, and keep your ears open and listen to the world around you. Remember, we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. because you have the knowledge of what is good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those you've hurt as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate in life. And do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is in sight. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love, and all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. Now may all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power, my friends, lies in consciousness, mindfulness, your ability to be present in all of life's circumstances. Work on your intentions. Continue to believe in the premise of decency, of goodness, of humanity. Turn your dreams into your beliefs into reality. Put intent into the new beginnings of the spring of your life. Focus on being free. Give love, my friends. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to remember all those who had an impact in your life. I'll remember you when I forgot all the rest. You to me were true. You to me were the best. When there is no more, you cut to the core quicker than anyone I knew. When I'm all alone in the great unknown, I'll remember you. Now always remember those that you have loved and lost, my friends. And coming up in a few days is Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Memorial Day. Light a candle and help elevate the souls of the 6 million. Ensure that they will never be forgotten. And it will also be Brett's birthday, and I wish I could be there to celebrate, but I will be thinking of you. Be happy, be healthy, be helpful, be kind, and be loving. Imprint your will on the blank canvas of life, and join us next week, my friends, when we return to our regular weekly show. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.